Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It is October 22nd, 2015. Yesterday, the Mets knocked off the Cubs in the National League Championship Series to advance to the World Series. And the reason that's ironic that they did it on that date is because in the film Back to the Future Part 2, it's predicted that the Cubs win the World Series on October 21st, 2015. Now, what I want to show you in this video is how I predicted in spring training that the New York Mets would be in the 111th World Series and would win it. Here on April 19th, I did a video talking about what I had predicted and how the game on April 18th was a major clue that the Mets were on their way to the World Series. Ironically, April 18th is my dad's birthday. My dad raised me to be a professional baseball player. My dad's love in this life is professional baseball, and he absolutely hates what I have figured out about baseball. He's in complete denial about it. And for all of you out there who are like my dad, what I need to say to you is we growing men, we're not supposed to be sitting on our asses watching pro sports. These games are rigged, they are predetermined, it's a giant joke, it's sports theater. Where men belong is on the streets taking this country back from the assholes who run it. And the news I have for you is the same assholes who run this country like tyrannical madmen are the same people who have given us pro sports because it is the greatest distraction, it is the greatest laxative for the men of the Western world who are all ruled by tyrants and who all sit on their asses because they're appeased with things such as pro sports and beer. Before I show you this video clip, I want to point out something that I didn't realize then. The date of April 18th, 2015 has a numerology of 57. That's important because the word World Series sums to 57 in Gematria. That said, let me show you the beginning of this clip from April 19th.
Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In this video post, I want to document what happened last night in the New York Mets baseball game. Before the season began, I predicted that the Mets would be in this World Series. I'm most confident about them being in the 111th World Series, which will happen in the fall of 2015. Why? Because New York, with simple English gematria, sums to 111. And as I just said, this will be the 111th World Series. New York has two baseball teams, the Mets and the Yankees. Based on this study of numerology and gematria, I am convinced the Yankees have won their last World Series. I don't think they'll win another World Series for as long as baseball's around.
So True Seeker, I'm going to cut it off right there. I'll link this video so you can watch the rest of it. What I want you to know is that the Mets went up 9 games, or after Jacob deGrom pitched on April 18th, they had 9 wins and 3 losses. They defeated the Marlins, who then had 3 wins and 9 losses. 93 and 39 are very important numbers in New York. We'll talk more about it. Notice how Jacob deGrom's ERA was .93 while the Mets were 9-3. The name Jacob deGrom in Gematria sums to 93. And just so you can see the Gematria of New York, it sums to 111. New York is the 11th state. This year will be the 111th World Series. Again, that game took place on a date with 57 numerology, tying in with World Series. I'll remind you that the first no-hitter thrown this season was by a San Francisco Giant against the New York Mets. The last World Series of the season, last no-hitter of the season was also thrown against the New York Mets by the Washington Nationals. Anyhow, the first guy to do it this year was named Chris Heston. Notice the name Chris Heston sums to 57, like World Series. His first name even has a 39 connection, another important number in New York. Chris Heston wore the number 53 on his jersey. The year prior, the Giants won the World Series on a date with 53 numerology, with a manager with 53 name gematria. They had then won 3 of the last 5 World Series. In the first ever Subway Series between New York teams, the Giants took it over to the Yankees 5-3. All signs of what was to come. Near the end of the season, the New York Mets swept the Nationals with 86 days remaining until the start of the World Series. To me, this was another sign. Of course, The Mets have not won the World Series since the year '86. Alex Rodriguez, who was 39 years old this year playing for the Yankees, finished with 33 home runs and 86 RBIs. I think this is another tribute for the Mets, truth seeker. Shea equals 33, Citibank equals 33. The final part of Shea Stadium was torn down at 11:22. Add those numbers together, 33, 3386. You add those two numbers together, you get 119, reminding of the date of September 11th in New York. Anyhow, game one of the NLCS Truth Seeker, the Mets took it 4-2, which is comical because they did it on a date with 42 numerology, and NYC for New York City has Gematria of 42. It's also the same day as the boxing match, the rigged boxing match. If you're new to my work, I show how all of pro sports is rigged by this same gang, the Zionists, who do everything by numerology and Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. If you look at my first comment on this video we started with, here in the comments I'm explaining how the NBA Finals will likely be Cavs versus Warriors. And look at what the Cavs versus Warriors was. It was the NBA Finals this year. I had that predicted before it happened too. You are listening to someone who has figured out how to correctly decode what is going on in pro sports and see through the rigging and make accurate predictions. What I am showing you is not an anomaly. I have these people pretty well figured out. If you deny this, you are denying the truth. These pro sports are rigged. Last night, the Mets closed out the Cubs with another 42 tribute. They had 42-year-old Bartolo Colon pitching. The game began with 4 runs and 2 runs for the Mets. Anybody who plays baseball can see that there's nothing on Colon's pitches these days. He's an old man. He's 42 years old. He throws cheese, yet somehow nobody can hit him. I could go out there and crush off Colon. Anybody who plays baseball knows what I'm saying is the truth. The only reason the other pros aren't hitting them is because it's all scripted. These people on the field know what's going on. They're told not to hit, they don't hit. The name Bartolo Colon in Gematria sums to 142. This is comical because if you write out 42, it sums to 142, and he's 42 years old. Last night, the game also closed out with a strike 3 call on a pitch that was maybe a foot inside. It wasn't anywhere near the plate. The umpire rung him up. I thought, my God, they must have needed to end it on that pitch. Yep, they did. It was the 156th pitch. This is a number connected to God. The Masons connect so much of this stuff to God. Anybody who saw the game knows again that what I am saying is on point. That pitch was awful. Somehow it was called strike 3. It was nowhere near the plate. And for those of you who think this is a joke, look at this. How many games are in a baseball season? 162. Notice Major League Baseball equals 162. The acronym MLB in English Gematria sums to 162. Notice that MLB in simple English Gematria is 27. Yankees have won 27 World Series. It's why I think they are done and will never win another. I could be wrong about that, but that's my other theory. That's my other prediction. So, I was talking about how New York has all these 39 and 93 connections. Well, check this out about the Kansas City Royals and Blue Jays, who are both playing each other. In Gematria, both of their names are identical. Kansas City Royals and Toronto Blue Jays both equal 59 the small way and 212 the big way. Here's what else is interesting. Kansas City is on the 39th parallel north. Remember, in New York, so many things are 39. New York's 39. The acronym's 39. The date of establishment's 39. The word empire, whoops, that's a typo. The word empire is 39. The United Nations is 39 floors tall. Madison Square Garden in Gematria equals 39. The word Madison equals 39. 39 signers on the Declaration. 39 proposals became the Bill of Rights proposed by Madison. Anyhow, earlier this year there was a train wreck, Philadelphia going to New York. I did a video that day on a possible subway series. That didn't turn out. But I noticed something. My video was frozen that day predicting the subway series with 188 views. It never went up after that. The train that crashed that day was number 188, and I thought that the powers that be who watch my video channel and mock me through freezing my videos at certain numbers were trying to hint that I was on the path. Well, look at this. Trainwreck has Gematria of 122. So does Kansas City. And so does San Francisco. Last year's World Series was Kansas City versus San Francisco. It very well may be Kansas City versus New York this year because Kansas City has numerological connections that fit. At the same time, so do the Blue Jays. They finished with 93 wins this year. The last time they were in the World Series was in the year 93. So, Canada, Toronto Blue Jays, maybe. Anyhow, something else special going on this year was the number 106. The Chicago Cubs, there was all this prophecy that they would go. In Back to the Future Part 2, it's USA Today where they see that the Cubs win in 2015. USA Today has Gematria of 106. It's been 106 seasons since the Cubs won. The first two managers to get knocked off in the wild card games, Girardi and Clint Hurdle, were the only managers with 106 Gematria in the whole league. Look at this post from Bobby Valentine. On October 6th, a lot like 106 at 106 in the PM, 106 p.m. in the afternoon, this article was posted. Mets will win World Series. 106 is the number of prophecy. And to the Zionists, it's a very important number. Israel was established on a date with 106 numerology. Israel's the Zionist state. The Zionists control pro sports. So something else interesting, to date, New York teams have won 46 of 110 World Series. Those are the Yankees, the Mets, the Giants, and the Dodgers. If the Mets won this year, they will have won 47 of the 111. The word time has Gematria of 47. Times Square, the small way in New York City, also has Gematria of 47. This is a very special number to the Zionists. Also very special to New York. 47 was a big number on September 11th. I have videos on it. To date, the National League has won 47 World Series, the American League 63. I suspect that the National League will have won 48 by the end. The man pitching in this video that I talked about, DeCrom, who got all these tributes on the date with World Series connections, wears the number 48. 48 is the number 223 is the 48th prime number. Remember, 223 is the number for the synagogue of Satan, connected to the curse of the billy goat. In case you've missed my work on that, just fill you in real quick here. Curse of the billy goat, 223. The synagogue of Satan, 223. And that, this thing right here, we got Detroit's goat. That has Gematria of 223 as well, Truth Seeker. Just show you this real quick. We got Detroit's goat, 223. Just like Curse of the Billy Goat. And again, these are the numbers of the Synagogue of Satan, the Zionists who control pro sports and rig them by the numbers. What I am showing you is no fallacy. This is true sports history. Here's another sign of things are rigged. This year, the Mets had their 11-game win streak broken by the New York Yankees. New York is the 11th state. So obvious. In the divisional series, Zach Greinke pitched in the game that the Mets won and advanced over. Zach Greinke on the season was 11-1 at home before losing. Also in his rookie season, he began his career 11-1 in Wilmington, Delaware. So this is what I am trying to reveal to people. Sports are rigged. They're rigged by numerology. If you learn Gematria, you can make accurate predictions. So far this year, I've predicted the college basketball championship correctly, the NBA finals correctly, the Triple Crown correctly. I almost got the Stanley Cup right. I thought it was going to be Blackhawks and Rangers. Got that wrong. But I was close. Rangers went to Game 7. Anyhow, the point is I have these people's number. You can have their number too, and if you invest the time, every sports fan should. Because just remember this, every minute spent watching pro sports games is a waste of your time. Every moment studying gematria, numerology, is more knowledge that can benefit you in this world. Until next time, Truth Seeker.